Spanish colonial architecture, brought by Spanish settlers, thrives in the harsh southwest climate. These homes were simple, practical, and beautifully in tune with nature, using durable materials like adobe and stone. Their rustic charm and functionality made them iconic, and today, the style continues to influence modern adobe buildings, blending history with sustainability. It's the perfect marriage of tradition and the environment. Ever wondered why Louisiana homes stand tall on stilts? French colonial architecture was built for survival, raised off the ground to dodge floods and maximize airflow. With wide porches, steep roofs, and large windows, these homes became perfect for humid, rainy climates. Still iconic today, their raised foundations and charming porches remain a staple of Louisiana's landscape, blending practicality with timeless southern charm. It's the world of Georgian architecture, where symmetry meets sophistication. Inspired by British design, this style brings classical elements into American homes with perfectly balanced facades and timeless elegance. Popular in the early United States, it symbolized order and a nod to ancient Greece and Rome. Still standing strong in the Northeast, Georgian homes laid the groundwork for future styles like Federal and Colonial Revival. Classic never goes out of style. After the Revolution, America needed a new look. And so, the Federal style entered. With its clean lines, refined elegance, and neoclassical flair, this style embodied a fresh national identity. It symbolized the nation's newfound independence with decorative moldings and perfect proportions. Federal homes became iconic in early American architecture, influencing government buildings and inspiring future styles. It's the elegance that defined the nation's beginning and still shapes its architectural legacy today. Step into the world of Greek grandeur. The Greek Revival style, emerging in the early 1800s, drew inspiration from ancient Greece to symbolize America's democratic spirit. With its striking columns and imposing porticos, it reflected the nation's quest for strength and cultural pride. Still present in government buildings today, this style's legacy continues to represent the timeless ideals of liberty, order, and classical elegance. Step into the world of soaring spires and majestic arches. The Gothic Revival style, inspired by medieval Europe, swept through 19th century America, leaving a lasting mark on churches and universities. With its pointed arches, intricate carvings, and towering structures, it evoked both spiritual awe and academic reverence. Today, Gothic Revival churches and institutions still dominate the American landscape, standing as symbols of vertical grandeur and a deep connection to history and spirituality. Inspired by the charming villas of Italy, Italianate architecture took mid-19th century America by storm, especially in urban areas. With low-pitched roofs, tall windows, and elaborate cornices, these homes exuded elegance and sophistication, standing apart with their ornamental details. Italianate homes still graced urban streets and suburban neighborhoods, particularly in the Northeast, symbolizing wealth, style, and timeless refinement. This style remains a lasting testament to the pursuit of beauty in American architecture. The Second Empire style, inspired by Napoleon III's France, brought dramatic flair to 19th century America. Best known for its distinctive mansard roofs, steep, multi-sided designs that added extra living space, this style was perfect for dense urban areas. Today, Second Empire buildings continue to stand tall in American cities, with their stately rooftops and commanding presence still shaping both residential and governmental architecture. Its legacy remains a symbol of practicality and grandeur in design. Stick-style architecture put the bones of a building on full display and made it beautiful. Emerging in the mid-19th century, it celebrated exposed wooden frames, decorative trusses, and bold lines, especially in suburban homes. This honest, artistic approach turned structure into ornament, paving the way for the more elaborate Victorian styles that followed. Today, stick style stands as a bold moment in architectural history, where craftsmanship and structure met in perfect harmony. Queen Anne architecture turned houses into showstoppers. Bursting onto the scene in the late 19th century, this style captured the Victorian spirit with asymmetrical shapes, bold colors, decorative trim, and whimsical towers. It embraced creativity over conformity, reflecting a society in flux and eager to express itself. Today, Queen Anne homes are treasured gems in American suburbs. Their electric flair and playful elegance continuing to inspire lovers of bold, character-rich design. Beaux-Arts was America's ultimate flex in stone and marble. Imported from the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts in Paris, this style exploded in the late 1800s, turning libraries, train stations, and museums into grand palaces of culture. With its domes, sculptures, and over-the-top ornamentation, Beaux-Arts wasn't just architecture, it was performance. Institutions flaunted it to radiate power, wealth, and sophistication. Today, its dramatic legacy still stuns in places like Grand Central Terminal and the New York Public Library. The modern skyline was born in the ashes of a tragedy. After the Great Chicago Fire of 1871, the city rose again, this time in steel. The Chicago School pioneered the use of steel-framed construction and large plate glass windows, ditching heavy walls for light, airy structures that reached new heights. These early skyscrapers weren't just practical, they were beautiful in their simplicity. Every glass tower today owes a nod to Chicago's fearless leap into vertical living. Frank Lloyd Wright didn't just design homes, he sculpted the American dream into the landscape. Prairie Style broke all the rules, trading towering verticals for long, low silhouettes that hugged the earth. Inspired by the sweeping Midwestern plains, these homes featured open floor plans, horizontal lines, and rows of windows that blurred the line between inside and out. It was America's architectural declaration of independence, bold, modern, and entirely homegrown. Prairie Style didn't follow trends, it started them. America's quest for permanence found its voice in stone columns and symmetrical facades. Neoclassical architecture was a grand revival of ancient Greece and Rome, echoing ideals of democracy, order, and authority. With soaring pediments and stately pillars, it became the go-to style for banks, courthouses, and national monuments. These buildings weren't just structures, they were statements. Neoclassicism gave America the architectural gravitas it craved, cementing its institutions in the language of ancient empires. Storybook charm met suburban dreams in the Tudor Revival style. With its steeply pitched roofs, half-timbering, and leaded glass windows, this design transported homeowners straight into an English fairy tale. Popular in early 20th century suburbs, it offered a romantic escape from industrial life, nostalgia wrapped in brick and timber. Tudor Revival gave the American upper middle class a touch of medieval warmth and aristocratic flair, all while fitting comfortably into modern neighborhoods. Bathed in the golden glow of the Southwest, Mission Revival brought a sun-soaked romance to American architecture. Inspired by early Spanish missions, it featured smooth stucco walls, red clay tile roofs, arched corridors, and bell towers that echoed California's colonial past. Emerging in the late 19th century, this style wasn't just a look, it was a cultural revival. Mission Revival helped define the visual identity of the American West, blending history, heat, and heritage into one striking form. Craftsman homes are a love letter to handmade beauty in a machine-made world. Born from the arts and crafts movement, this early 20th century style celebrated exposed beams, natural wood, and cozy porches. It was a rebellion against mass production, favoring honesty, warmth, and simplicity. With low-slung roofs and built-in charm, the Craftsman Bungalow brought thoughtful design to everyday families. More than a house, it was a home that felt grounded, personal, and proudly American. Nothing says glitz and progress like Art Deco. Born in the roaring 1920s, this style turned buildings into fashion statements, sleek, symmetrical, and unapologetically glamorous. With bold geometry, shiny metals, and ziggurat silhouettes, it mirrored an era obsessed with speed, jazz, and luxury. From the Chrysler Building's crown to oceanfront hotels in Miami, Art Deco made modernity look like a party. It's not just a style, it's a vibe frozen in stone, steel, and glass. Streamline Moderne made buildings look like they were built to move. Born in the 1930s, this sleek sibling of Art Deco traded sparkle for speed, favoring rounded edges, chrome trim, and long horizontal lines. Inspired by trains, ships, and airplanes, it made diners, theaters, and even bus terminals feel futuristic. With smooth stucco walls and glass block windows, Streamline wasn't just architecture. It was motion frozen mid-glide, embodying the elegance of the machine age. The international style stripped architecture down to its bone and made it iconic. Born from the Bauhaus and modernist ideals, this style ditched decoration in favor of glass walls, steel frames, and functional form. Think sharp angles, open spaces, and buildings that look like machines for living. It reshaped skylines from New York to Berlin, turning architecture into a universal language of logic, efficiency, and clarity in the booming age of modern cities. Mid-century modern was the future wrapped in wood, glass, and optimism. Born from post-war innovation and atomic age streams, this style ditched clutter for clean lines, airy rooms, and a seamless flow between indoors and out. It brought nature to the doorstep and design into everyday life. From the deserts of Palm Springs to today's sleek home makeovers, mid-century modern remains the blueprint for cool, casual living that never goes out of style. Brutalism doesn't whisper, it roars in raw concrete. Rising after World War II, this style stripped architecture to its essentials: blocky shapes, exposed structure, and unapologetic mass. Loved by institutions for its durability and hated by critics for its cold look, Brutalism is the ultimate architectural Rorschach test. Whether you see a fortress or a masterpiece, its bold honesty left a permanent stamp on city halls, libraries, and campuses across the modern world. Postmodernism laughed in the face of modernism's gray seriousness. Bursting onto the scene in the late 20th century, it threw symmetry out the window and invited in color, irony, and wild personality. Buildings started sporting playful columns, quirky shapes, and mashups of historical references, like architecture with a wink. It was bold, chaotic, and unapologetically fun, proving that not everything had to be minimal to be meaningful. It made buildings talk back. The structure was shattered, and that was the point. Deconstructivism tore up the architectural rulebook with wild angles, fragmented geometry, and buildings that looked like they were mid-explosion. From Frank Gehry's Walt Disney Concert Hall to Zaha Hadid's fluid forms, this wasn't just design. It was rebellion in concrete and steel. Love it or hate it, deconstructivism turned chaos into an art form that demanded attention. High-tech architecture made buildings wear their guts with pride. Think exposed steel frames, glass skins, and visible ducts turning function into futuristic fashion. The Pompidou Center in Lloyd's building didn't hide the mechanics, they celebrated them. By fusing architecture with engineering, this style turned utility into spectacle, redefining how we see airports, offices, and industrial spaces. It's tech-forward, unapologetic, and sleekly unforgettable. Neo-traditional design brought back small-town charm with a 21st century twist. With front porches, picket fences, and walkable streets straight out of a storybook but wired for modern living. Places like Seaside, Florida became models of this movement, blending nostalgia with smart planning. New urbanism isn't just the style, it's a philosophy that reimagined community, resisting soulless sprawl in favor of connected, beautiful neighborhoods. Green architecture proves buildings can fight climate change. From solar panels and green roofs to recycled materials and passive cooling, these designs do more than look good. They tread lightly. Pioneered by visionaries like Bianca Inges and Ken Young, sustainable design blends innovation with responsibility. It's not just a trend, it's the future, reshaping skylines while protecting the planet, one building at a time. Today's skylines shimmer with glass and ambition. Contemporary skyscrapers, like the Shard or One World Trade Center, redefine urban elegance with the reflective skins, razor-clean lines, and cutting-edge engineering. These towers aren't just tall, they're status symbols of innovation and global identity. Blending smart tech with sculptural form, they've become the sleek icons of a future-forward world where cities rise higher and shine brighter than ever. Which of these architectural styles do you think shaped America the most? Let me know in the comments down below. Join us next time as we dig deeper into every major American city skyline, from New York City's skyline all the way to Los Angeles. They all have a story to tell.